And welcome back to 101 Business Radio. And today I'm joined in the studio by Robbie Gianoncelli, and we're talking about insurance. Now, I know when it comes to insurance, a lot of us in business are going, oh no, it's going to cost me a fortune, and how do I know I'm properly covered? And there's a lot of things going on in this world. But really, when you start talking to the specialist brokers in this field, it's actually quite intriguing, and there's a lot of benefits to actually having a personal relationship with a broker rather than just buying something off the shelf. So I've invited Robbie in because I'd like to get to the bottom of this, so as in business can do, get to understand it a little bit better. Welcome to the show, Robbie. How are you?
I'm good, and yourself?
Yeah, I'm great, thanks. Look, really appreciate you taking the time to come in, because I know you're a busy guy and you're servicing those clients 7 days a week in the industry you're in. Robbie, brokers, general insurance, that's your specialty. How does a guy end up being a general insurance broker? I never saw that on the curriculum at school, mate.
Yeah, I definitely didn't think that would be the world that I would fall into, but it's quite a funny story. I used to work in security and crowd control, and when I left school, I was a bit of a muscly guy, and I thought I'd use that to my advantage. Yeah. And then as I was doing that, the world just suddenly got that little bit more dangerous, and it got a little bit more violent, and I was coming home quite regularly hurt. And wow. My wife, because I was a head of security, I was always the first into a fight. I was always the first into the incident. Yep. And my wife said something to me that really changed my life, and I met her through crowd control. And she said to me, look, your safety is more important to me, and I'll gladly live in a shed with you. It doesn't matter what you do for a living. Wow. So this amazing, beautiful, stunning girl just met me. I had no education. I was in crowd control. Told me just to get out of it. Just do whatever you can, get out of it. Yeah. I applied for everything on Seek.com, like everything from a car salesman to McDonald's. It didn't matter to me. I just wanted a job just to get out of it, to make my wife happy, or my girlfriend at the time. Yeah. And I had several interviews, and QBE Claims called me first. And oh, right. I was like, wow, an office job, 9 to 5, something decent. Wow, this is not my world. I barely know how to turn on a computer. And I went for the interview, and I went for other interviews at the same time, and I got several offers. It was a 6-month contract. It was just a temporary position, Monday to Friday. I had about, I think, 20 plus applicants, and they said that they saw something in me, and they gave me an opportunity. So I fell into the world of insurance in claims on a 6-month contract, getting excited. While I was there, I received several awards. I received 17 awards for customer service. Wow. Yeah, I was shocked.
That's some happy clients.
Well, exactly. Yeah. If you service the clients and you look after the clients, then obviously you get recognition for it. Yep. And I received 17 awards for it. So in that time, they extended my contract. It was a 6-month contract, and they realized, and they gave me an opportunity to extend to a full-time role. And then I started training staff, and it started escalating. When I was in that claims department, I noticed that the importance of having insurance. Right. When someone would ring up and their house was burnt down and they're crying on the other end of the phone, I realized the importance of having that cover and getting someone back on their feet, or getting them into a new premises. So I went from claims, and I realized the next step up was broking. So I went into the broking world, right. And I went as a claims assistant. I went for a job as a claims assistant. Okay. And the director of that company gave me an opportunity as an assistant broker. Wow. Didn't even apply for it. He just gave me that position. Yeah. Quite exciting. It's a bit of a promotion. In that time, it was about 6 months as an assistant role. I escalated into an account manager role, running a bicycle retailer scheme. Realized how great it was. I became an account manager very quickly. And then from there, I fell into transport. So it all started from my wife telling me that, you're in a dangerous industry. To make my wife happy, I got out of it, fell into the claims department, and from the claims department realized how important insurance is. Yep. And then fell into broking. And the reason why I'm a broker is to make sure that clients have the right covers. Yep. So that if they do have a claim, they're covered and they can get back on their feet. You know what I think is interesting as you're telling that story, Robbie, is not just the awards. I think they're great. But I suppose from a business owner, as a business owner myself, I think having a broker who's actually had claims experience, surely that brings a lot to the table when people are dealing with you. You must know your way around those, the back doors, as they say, or the fine print stuff. Oh, of course. The one thing about QBE when I was working in the claims department was most people think that insurance companies want to decline the claim so they make profit. That's not the case. We had regular meetings, and our managers would tell us to find ways around the declines. So if a client didn't have that cover because they chose not to, we tried to find ways around to get it accepted. Wow. And that's why QBE was the leading insurer and won all those awards. Yeah. So I found ways of finding covers. I had a client once that had a jukebox that was completely damaged from A to B. What I did, I found that he has a speed hump at his own premises, and he possibly could have damaged that jukebox leaving his own premises, and we got it covered.
Wow.
It was a decline, but it's all about knowing wordings,
Yep.
knowing your client, because I went to that client's premises and I saw that he had a speed hump, and I saw what he had in his premises to get that over the line.
Now, that's something interesting. You mentioned wordings then on policies, and I guess, look, I'm a businessman, I've run building businesses and things like that, and we've had a printing company and so forth. But those wordings, they always said to me, dealing with my broker, it's the wordings that are really important. But to tell you the truth, Robbie, for me, trying to read those types of wordings, give me a building contract, not a problem. Give me wordings on an insurance policy, it's just all double Dutch. It really is complicated.
Well, that's my job.
Yeah.
So once you appoint a broker, that broker goes to the market and finds the right product to suit your needs. And we should know the wordings.
Yep.
Like, we should know them inside and out. And we should know the exclusions and endorsements. So what we do is we assess the risk and we minimize that risk. That's why my company's called Refine Risk.
Yes.
So it's our job to know those wordings, not yourself.
Right. And you mentioned earlier, because you started with doing your broking, you started off as an assistant broker, and obviously now you're a full broker. But you mentioned you started moving into that specialist area of, did I hear you right, transport?
Transport, yes.
Wow.
So I went from bicycle retailer schemes, and then I went to another brokerage, and that brokerage gave me an opportunity to step it up. There's different levels in broking.
Yeah.
So I went from bicycle retailers to transport, and I fell in love with the industry. Transport's amazing. There's the loyalty you get from your clients.
Right.
Once you do a good job, they don't leave you. Right. They stay with you. And I started doing that.
Not with the guy who's looking after you like you do and finding the way around the policies. I wouldn't leave you either.
No, of course not. Well, it's like I've got a client that's came to several brokerages. He follows me. He actually contacted me on Facebook to come across.
Wow.
Because he knows if he calls me, I'll pick up the phone and I'll answer it.
Yeah.
It's all that service. It's customer service.
And I think you're saying something there, they call you pick up the phone, because I guess when you're in the transport industry, I'll ask you a little bit about in a minute. I mean, I hear these guys all the time. They say to me, look, if the wheels aren't turning, we're not earning. It's one of their phrases. I'm sure you hear it all the time yourself.
Definitely hear it, yes.
So how do you manage to service that type of demand? What are some of the things you do or dedicate yourself to doing to get that across to them?
Well, all my clients have my mobile number. It's on my email signature. It's on my cards. It's everywhere. It's not a landline where you can call me and I'm only available from 9 to 5. That's not the case.
Right.
My clients, like you said, if they have an accident and something happens and they're off the road, if they're not earning, if they're not on the road, they're not earning. So they need to contact me. My job is to get them back on the road and get them back trading again so that they can get that income for their families. Yeah. Family's important. So I'm not a 9 to 5. If you want to call me 7 o'clock at night, I'll answer my phone. If I happen to be asleep, I'll pick up the phone and I'll answer it tomorrow morning. Yeah. Saturday, Sunday, night, it doesn't matter.
That's incredible. So this transport specialist that you got to be known as now, I mean, you're starting to get branded that in the industry as a transport specialist. How did it all come about? What's been the journey along that for you?
Okay. Well, that brokerage gave me an opportunity, and they recently got a contract with the WA Road Transport Association when I was there. Yeah. So I just started that company, and they just got that contract.
Right.
So they have like 260 odd bus members and 600 transport operators in heavy haulage and bus and coach.
Oh, yes. Yep.
So what I did is I started focusing on those businesses. So the CFO, Ian King, and Wally Gargano from Bus WA, they used to refer to me on a daily basis. And it was just ongoing. So I kind of fell into it, started seeing more bus and coach guys, started going out and doing pilot training escorts. So I'd go then and tell them what the risks involved. Pilot escorts are the ones that follow the transport operators. And what they do is they tell them, okay, it's safe to go around that corner. It's safe to go over here. They assess the risks on behalf of the heavy haulage guys.
Oh, right, yes.
And I used to go every fortnight and explain to them the risks involved. Fell in love with the industry, fell in love with the people. They're just so genuine.
Yeah.
I go and see them. I'm in jeans and a nice polo top.
Yeah.
Because they don't care what I look like. They just want to make sure I'm doing my job correctly. That's all they care about, that they can pick up the phone, I will answer. If they have an accident, I get them back on the road.
Yeah. What are some of the challenges then because as I said, the bus and coach and the heavy haulage that you've talked about, what are some of the specific challenges for these guys as you see it?
Well, obviously there's the issue of the mine sites at the moment, where there's a lot of pilot escorts, especially they're finding that they're losing jobs.
Right.
So it is a little bit tough out there. Obviously there's lots of exclusions, endorsements in policy wordings like dangerous goods and so on. So they got to make sure that they're completely covered for those dangerous goods.
Okay.
Make sure they got the higher limits.
Yep.
If they have an accident, like you said, one of my insurers has a roadside assist program, so you can call them directly, and then they'll get onto it 24 hours a day, 7 days a week to get them back on the road.
Oh, wow.
So because most of these guys, they're just a one-man band with a one truck.
Yeah.
If their truck's off the road, they can't earn.
Yeah, they're not earning any money.
So my job is to make sure that they get on the road quickly, and also things like downtime. So if their vehicle's off, they're also going to receive a certain amount of income for that time period they're away, from $2,000 a week, $3,000, whatever we decide.
Yes. Yep.
So my job's to get to know what their bills are as well, their income, and make sure they're not penalised when their vehicle's off the road.
That is huge. Just looking at the clock, and I know we're running out of time on here.
Oh, well.
This is really fascinating for me. I mean, as being in business, we've got trucks ourselves that do deliveries and so forth with the building company. Can you come back, Robbie, and we can explore some of these things some more with you?
Of course. You're 1 kilometre from my premises, so I'll walk down here.
That's fantastic. And, Robbie, anyone with any specific questions, what's the best way to contact you, mate?
Yep, they can call me on my landline, which is 9200 3400, or send me an email to robbie@refinedbg.com.au, and it's Robbie with ROBBIE.
I was going to say ROBBIE at refinedbg.com.au, and the BG actually stands for the business group, doesn't it?
Correct, yes. I'm in partnership with an IT company with web development and SEO.
Oh, wow. Oh, we might even explore some of that later as well. So, look, if you want to contact Robbie, give him a call. It's 92003400. Been fantastic having you on the show, Robbie. Thanks for coming in, mate.
Thanks for the opportunity.
Wonderful. And if you missed any of that interview, want to listen to any more of those very good insights from Robbie, just replay us on our podcast channel. And stay tuned. There's much more coming up on 101 Business Radio.